everyone, and welcome to another live stream. Very special live stream for me. Hope that you all guys enjoy it. So give me a second, because as always I send the live stream to literally everyone so that they can watch. So give me 5 seconds. And now I'll explain if you'd like to ask questions or anything. So yeah. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, please put them on the question box, so that it's easier for me to see your question. And instead of in the comments, I mean, it's okay if you put it in the comments, but it's easier for me if you put it on the question box, so that it's easier for me to see that and for Scott to answer, because sometimes my English isn't really good, so perhaps I pronounce something wrong, and by doing it on the question box he gets to see the whole question, so it's so much easier. I'm gonna pin my comment just in case. Oops. Question box. Okay, great. Can you all see my comment, right? Are you all able to see my comment? Hello. I YouTube Scott before. I tried to I'm sorry, this is moving so much. I tried to watching a lot of interviews of him, because I wanted to kind of get used to his accent. And I'm actually very scared, because he's actually Scottish, if I'm not wrong. But and I really love the Scottish accent. But I still feel like sometimes it's very hard for me to understand. Sorry. Sometimes it's very hard for me to understand the British accent and all of that. Okay, wait. Awesome. So in 2 minutes I'm going to send him the live stream. He literally he literally just called me. That's why the video was kind of paused. It was because of that, but everything is fine. I'm gonna send him the live stream in about 2 minutes, as I said. Yeah, I know how to I need to relax, but it's hard. It's really hard. Do you think I should end this live stream and start a new one, or do you think it's okay that I keep on doing this one? I don't know. Is the lighting okay? Because I feel like it's kind of glitching. That's weird. I'm so sorry. There are a lot of things happening today. Okay, so 1 minute. And I've got my water here. I'm literally shaking. Fuck. Okay, I'm sorry, Alton. I'm so sorry. So, wait. Something just happened, and okay, I'll try to arrange all of that later. So, 1 minute. Are you all able to hear me alright and see me fine and all of that, right? Because sometimes my phone gets weird and things happen. But let me know if you can hear me okay. It's time. So I'm going to send him the live stream. Give me a second, because I'm trying to find him. Here. Yes, I'm fine. Okay. I am very nervous. I've got all my questions here. Okay, yeah, I've got my questions here. Because I have different papers with different questions. It depends on the occasion. I've got my questions for these live streams, and then I've got questions for the other live streams, and yeah, it's just a lot. Yay, they're here. I hope I'm okay. It's my... Hi.
Oh, I've got to get my headphones. Hold on.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clearly. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you?
Yeah, great, thank you. Great. I might have to wear my glasses because I can't get my computer linked up, so I'm having to do it on my phone, so it's very small. How are you all right?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm kind of nervous, but I'm doing well.
Are you in lockdown?
Kind of like it's weird because we've never been like in lockdown here in Uruguay. Like it wasn't like compulsory. Like they tell us like to stay at home and all of that, but no one stays at home. Like everybody's out and like they're doing parties and all of that.
No,
so, yeah.
really? Oh my God! Oh, it's just gone crazy here in London. Everybody's ill again, so it's gone woof again.
Yeah, I read about that, and like now I am very because I was supposed to go to London last year in I think in June, and of course we had to cancel because of COVID, and now like everything is really bad again there in London and in the UK in general. So I don't know if we are going to be able to like to do that.
It won't be long. We've got the vaccine. Well, they think that we've got the vaccine, which are handing out now. So hopefully, within I would think summertime, things might be getting to settle down again. Oh, please, fingers crossed. It's driving me mad.
Yeah, I hope to. And like we were also going to go like to theaters and like watch musicals, and of course I think that's also what the reason why we just like had to cancel and all of that, because we weren't going to be able like to do anything there. So
no, you won't. No point coming just now. Hardly anybody's in London. It's the most surreal situation. You suddenly go. I remember going in just probably about 4 weeks after the first lockdown in the summer. I cycled in and I couldn't believe my eyes. There was nobody on the streets. The shops are closed. It was unbelievable, and it's still like that just now. It's still not really back. It's still not anywhere near to the situation where shops should be open again. So we're all kind of closed down again. It's just waiting, biding our time until this passes. This black cloud.
Yeah, here like most of the like shopping centers and stores, they're all open. So yeah, everything is open here. I mean, it's okay that it's open, but at the same time, it's like not totally okay. Because that's what actually makes people like go out and all of that. And, like supermarkets are always like really full.
Yeah.
And people like get crazy, and I mean we've got enough stuff and all of that.
Yeah. One day it won't be far away. Won't be far. A few more months, and that's it. I mean, I think Andrew Lloyd Webber said he wanted the show to open up again in May. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the chances of that are tiny amounts. Probably midsummer, late summer, I would think, at the very earliest. God.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, please. I can't bear being in this house. Well, I can. I love my house, but I just can't. I just want to get out and do things. You know, go back to normality again. Go to the pub. Go and meet friends. Go to restaurants. Things like that. You know, things that you just take for granted, and they're not. You can't do that anymore. So it's not good.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I feel kind of weird because for me it wasn't like such a big change.
Yeah.
Because like at work, I'm currently in summer, so I'm currently like also in summer break.
Lovely.
So it wasn't like a really big change. Like in vacation, I don't tend sometimes we go like to Brazil or Argentina with my family, but it's still like the same for me, like to stay home and like do nothing, because that's what I actually do.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like so weird for me.
Yeah. Well, we had our summer and it went and the rate of it died, and then as soon as we went into November, December, the numbers started creeping up, and then suddenly just gone boosh again. You know, much more than what it was last time. So just got to keep our fingers crossed that this vaccine works. I hope it does. Oh my God. Whilst we are stuffed. So I've come onto the right place, and uh, I've managed it. Well done. Thank you for those very clear instructions. This is
Yeah,
easy.
sometimes I tend to like mix a little bit like the English. So I'm glad that they were very clear.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Your English is great.
Thank you.
Is it nice and hot over there?
Yeah, it's very hot.
I think
Yeah.
we're about 2 degrees here in London just now, 2 degrees Celsius. So
Well.
it's oh.
Yeah, here we have like a really weird weather because like in the afternoon it's like extremely hot, and then when it comes to like I don't know 7 p.m. over there, it tends to like get a little bit colder.
Yeah.
So at night it's like really cold, but then it's like really hot.
Oh, you lucky girl. I hate you. I hate you. I wish we could go. A friend of mine just gone back to Australia for 4 months, and it's like, well, they'll have the whole summer there, and then they'll leave Australia in 4 months and come back and have the summer here. So, oh, how lovely is that? Oh, you never have to have winter again. Oh, mind you, I do love winter. I love skiing. I love doing all that sort of stuff. And because we can't go this year, I'm really going to miss skiing. And that's when I really love the cold. The sun's down on you, but it's like -10, and you go, oh, this is fantastic. What a life. Oh, but not this year, I'm afraid. Not this year.
Yeah, here we don't have snow. So
Yeah.
I think if we had snow, I think I would enjoy winter
Do you ever get
a
snow?
lot more.
Do you ever get snow?
We don't have. No.
Oh, no. No. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Come over to London mind you, London doesn't get it bad, actually. I mean, it's probably up in Scotland where I'm originally from. And that's where they've got a lot of snow there just now. So but it's different, isn't it? It's a different snow. If you go to the French Alps and the snow is very powdery, and when you're up in Scotland, it's just like slush. It's just it's very sticky. So there's a big difference between the snow. So I'd rather be up in the Alps. Believe you me. You don't ski, do you?
I've never been. I mean, I've never done it, so I have
You've
no
got to
idea.
do it. You've got to do it. Brilliant.
Yeah, I would love to.
Don't you have mountains there that have high enough to do skiing, or is it? Do you have to go to America? I mean, I don't know, and I'm very ignorant when it comes to skiing over that part of the world.
Yeah, well, there's like Argentina is literally like next to Uruguay, so
Oh yeah,
they actually have snow there, and they have like all of those activities in a certain city, I think, but I've never been there.
all right. Well, I love it. I'm just reading these. Scotland's weather is so messed up right now. I don't know, is it? I mean, it's only about 400 miles up the road, and I still no idea. I know it's snowing, and I don't really know if it's that. I mean, I don't know if it's that bad or not. I have no idea. Wasn't this fun? Put your questions. Oh.
Yeah, I have like my questions here, and I also have some questions on this kind of question box that I have.
Wait,
so
do I see the question box, or do
I can see the questions, but if I click on a question, you're able to like see the question. So
all right.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a little look through my glasses. Oh, that's better. Oh my God. Oh yeah, I see it. It was last time it snowed in Uruguay was 1930. Oh. There you go. That's even before my time.
So wait, I'm trying to choose between these two questions. Okay, I'm going to go with this one first.
Okay.
What is the worst mishap that you've experienced as the Phantom?
Oh my God, I've got loads. But what's the worst? Oh God. Frightening or funny?
Funny.
Well, funny. Okay. Funny ones. You know the show well, I take it. You know the show very well. Coming down the stairs in Masquerade, and I go up to the Christine, and I have to stand on two little tape marks to let me go down the trap door. Do you have that? And then I sang "Your Chains Are Still Mine." You will sing for me. And as I stood on the trap door, it just slightly moved about that much. And I thought, that's not right. And I said, you're Chainsaw Man, you sing for me. And I grabbed the necklace, and it went, instead of going, woof, it went like this. And then it stopped. And the only bit that they could see on the stage was from my stomach upwards. And I had my mask on, and I'm talking to the people down underneath the stage. They're going, what's going on? What's going on? Because they couldn't see that, they couldn't hear it in the audience. He said, you're stuck, Scott. You're stuck. And I went, for God's sake. He says, you're going to have to climb out. And then there was the Raoul and Christine scene that was going on there about about telling them about the Phantom, and I'm stuck there watching this scene, and then I had to wait for the scene to finish. And then I basically, they blacked out the stage, and I climbed out, and then the lights went up, and I'm still climbing, climbing at the trap door. It was awful. But that's why I love live theatre, because these terrible things can go on, and sometimes the audience don't even know. But I'm sure the audience knew that. That was not supposed to be happening. I love it. And I come off, and a lot of people get really upset if something goes wrong with the stage, but you can't help it. And that's what live theatre is about. And you've got to really, I think it's age that's taught me, don't get upset about it. Just carry on. You've got to somehow manage to get through it and get through that terrible time. And then you can have a good laugh about it in years to come.
Have you ever forgotten your lines?
Sorry?
Have you ever forgotten your lines, whether it's in Phantom or any other shows?
Yeah. There was a Christy. We were doing the Don Juan scene. Do you know what? I touch wood. I've never ever forgot it in Music of the Night. Never ever forgot it. But in Don Juan, before the Phantom comes out, I was mucking about with 𝗵𝘀𝗁𝐺𝐺. He came through the curtains, and I started. We always used to have a little bit of a tickle and push around, just before we went on. And I was so unprofessional, I know. But then you pull the curtains back, and then, because I was mucking about so much and I made it so late to the place, I thought, oh my God, my lines. And the beginning of Don Juan is very similar to the beginning of Music of the Night. I have brought you, whereas in the beginning of the Don Juan is you have come here. So I started singing, I have brought you in pursuit of your deepest urge, in pursuit of the very beginning of the show. And I thought, oh my God, I have just sung, and I couldn't get off it. I couldn't get on. So I started to sing the whole first. And there was no help from my Christine at the time. And she I mean, I love her to bits, but all I could see was her shoulders going up and down. And she knew I was in dire straits. She knew that, but she couldn't help me. There was no way. And I just had, and I think it was just towards the end of it that I suddenly clicked into it and thought, oh. But then every show after that, I really panicked at that scene. I really, really panicked. It became a real mind problem, like I do. Oh God, all right, okay. I must think about my words, and I didn't start mucking about with 𝗵𝘀𝗁𝐺𝐺 anymore. I suddenly became a lot more concentrated for a few days, but then I went back to fun again.
That's actually like one of my biggest fears, like to forget the lines or anything.
Oh, it's terrible.
I was like really scared about that.
Oh,
it never happened to me, but I'm very scared.
Well, it is a frightening thing, but it's just nerves that make you forget. That's all. You get so tense about it. You just got to learn to go. I'm all right. I'll be fine. But once you start getting a thing about it, terrible. It becomes worse.
I tend to get like very, very nervous, but like before going on stage. But then when I'm on stage, I'm like very calm and relaxed, and like I don't forget anything, and it's like I'm very into it. and it's so weird. I don't know.
Yeah. But you get used to it. And the thing is, if you forget your words, you just make any old rubbish up. I sometimes I used to sing a load of vowels. Oh yeah, and the audience never know. And, friends of mine came to see the show, and they said, "Oh my God, did you hear me just waffling my words?" No, never noticed it. I think, well, there you go. That just proves it. It just proves you can get away with a lot. Be confident. That's it. That's it. Be confident.
What's your favorite memory from your time in Phantom?
My favorite memory? Oh, so many. When I met the Queen, when I had my first child, my wife went into labor early, and normally this show came down at 10:15 in those days, and the conductor conducted so quickly because he knew that the Jack was imminent, and I then the show was going on, and the show actually came down at 5 to 10. So he took 20 minutes. Now, 20 minutes musically wise off a show is a huge amount. There were no dramatic pauses. There was just, let's get on with it. And then literally the cast just moved backstage at the end of the curtain call. They all moved backstage. The doors are all left open. It was like royalty. And I went running up the stairs into the dressing room, taking my mask and makeup off, costume. There was a cab waiting for me, and I rushed into the cab, and he took me to the wrong hospital, and I missed the birth of my first baby. So that's probably my most memorable moment. But there are loads of them, meeting the Queen, as I said. Oh God, just to go through. I mean, that was a really good one as well. Very nerve-wracking. We had everybody there. We had Cameron McIntosh, Andrew Lloyd Webber. We had everybody there who at the show. So that was a very, very nerve-wracking but memorable evening. Great fun.
Do you have any pre-show good luck rituals?
Yes, I do. I like to get into the box, into the dressing room early, and I always have a little prayer. And if I don't, sometimes if I've been rushed with a new makeup girl and she's not used to me, and I've got into the box late, that really gets me uptight. And I like to have a little, say thank you very much for letting me do this job, blah 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 blah. And if I don't do it, I feel terrible. It starts and I think, oh no, I've not had time to say it. Oh God. But that's about the only thing that I do. There's no real. I mean, my absolute hero, 𝗓𝘂𝗶𝗏𝗺𝗺, he used to have to find a nail everywhere, every theatre he went to. And if he didn't find that nail, he was in a terrible state, and to the point where his personal assistant used to go around the stage dropping bent nails all over the stage so he'd find one so he could go on. I'm not that bad.
Do you get recognized in public in London?
Sometimes, it's a funny thing actually. Where was I? Just before lockdown, and I was in London Bridge Station, and this lovely girl and her boyfriend came up and said, and they were all kind of nervous, and they went, are you Scott Davies? I went, yeah. I said, oh, can you sign this? We saw the show last night. He says, you saw the show last night and you recognized me, and I'm in my normal day wear. So I just found myself, I don't know if I think to be recognized all the time must be awful. I would hate it. Your life's not your own. So it's quite nice when it comes up, quite genuinely. And they were lovely people that I met, and they didn't take too much time up, and they were just quite chatting. They were very complimentary, and then I just went on my way. So I didn't really have that much time, but it's been happened a few times. Yeah. I'm not crazy about it. I must admit, I seem to be put into a position of, oh my God, what do I say? What do I say? You know, but I try to be as accommodating as I can, unless I'm running for a train. And then you won't get much from me.
Do you have a favorite part or song in the show, whether you're in it or not?
All right, the one that I like the most, with me not singing it, is Wishing, and the one I love to sing is The Final Layer. Oh my God. Oh, I love that. You just go and let it go, and that's when you see the real Phantom. That's when you see the real. Well, I think that's when you see everything about him. You see his childishness, his petulance, his patheticness, his anger, all within 7 to 10 minutes. So that's what I love about it, and it's great fun. Great fun.
Do you have any favorite costume?
I love it. I just love his suit. I think his suit is supposed to be immaculate. It's do you know, everything about it I love. I find the masquerade costume particularly bad, because it's cumbersome. You've got to come down the stairs. You can't see the stairs because of your mask. So it's cumbersome. That's probably my worst one. But the suit, and I suppose the opening, isn't it? It's the hat with the you know, the fedora hat, the cloak with all the braiding on the back. And that's when the Phantom looks great. There's no makeup all over the shirt collar or anything, so you're in pristine condition. It's all been ironed. It all looks great, and it should look great. That's my only favourite one, really. Yeah, I love that very much so. I miss it. Whether I can fit back into it, I don't know.
Do you have any inspirations, whether it's for theatre or like life in general?
Inspirations. It's quite funny, because I put a photograph up on Instagram, because I only just joined Instagram, and I'm not quite sure. I was a rather drunk night with my boys. My oldest boy, who's 20 years of age now, and he said, "Come on, Dad, get onto Instagram." I went, "Oh, I've always been put off by it, because I couldn't really understand what it was for." And I said, "Okay, then I'll do it." And then I put a photograph on, and it was meeting Luciano Pavarotti, 𝗂𝘀𝐀𝗴𝗿, and Domingo, and they're the reason why I wanted to sing. And when you actually meet the people, and you are drinking with the people that inspired you to do something, who were absolutely top of the game, where the voices were just beautiful, especially Pavarotti. It was just an absolute inspiration to meet them. And when he passed away, I was so sad, because these are the people that you look up to. Where, you know, when you're 17 or 18, you go, "Oh my God, Pavarotti's voice, he's just beautiful." And you try and emulate what he does, and you never can, because that's a voice in a million, or a billion. Oh my God, more than a billion. And he was my inspiration, and it was just wonderful to meet the person that you really looked up to. And he was such a lovely man. In fact, they all were. You know, you see them up there, and you go, "Oh my God, that I want to be like them." And you know, and time goes by, and you try and do your best, and it's like the best feeling to meet somebody that you absolutely admire from every angle.
Pavarotti is actually like I think he's actually like my favorite opera singer, alongside Maria Callas. Like, I love them both really much.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I think it's the sweetness of his voice. It's the smoothness of his voice, and just goes up and up, and it's absolutely flawless and effortless. And 𝗂𝘀𝐀𝗴𝗿 is fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot more. When you see him sing and you see Pavarotti sing, you see two different styles of singing. And you see Pavarotti, it's just like, it's if he's just talking. And then you see 𝗂𝘀𝐀𝗴𝗿 is, you know, a bit more effort. So that's the difference to me. But there's a sweetness there. But 𝗂𝘀𝐴𝗿𝗿 is still fantastic. You can't take that away from him. He's still marvelous, beautiful.
Yeah, my parents actually gave me as a gift a CD. Like, it's called, I don't know will the translation in English would be, but like it's called the Los Tres Tenores, which are Pavarotti, Carreras, and Plácido Domingo. And it's just, it's really, really beautiful. Like,
yeah,
I love it.
I mean, these are top class singers. These are top wonderful, one in a million voices, and enjoy them while they're here, because we all won't be here, you know. I mean, it's just wonderful just to be able to hear these voices all the time. I mean, I was watching Pavarotti's film the other day on Netflix, and I just thought, oh my God, how you forget, and how I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget. I don't want to feel that, oh my God, I've forgotten about that bit. I've forgotten how that voice sounded, how easy it stood. It's just got to remember these things. And I go into my little music room, and I have the mirror, and I try and go along and try and sing along with him, and it's like, there's no way. It's just stunning. It's a stunning, stunning voice. Oh, I'm going to have to go and listen to him later on.
Oh wait, I got lost. Okay. What was your reaction when you found out that you got the role?
Complete shock. I remember I covered it for about a year, and the director, which is his birthday today, he's now passed away, 𝗓𝘂𝘁𝗶𝗿𝗺. He was the original, well, he wasn't the original, he was the in-house director. 𝗓𝘂𝘁𝗶𝗿𝗺 was the director, of course, but he was the in-house director, and I hadn't ever been on, and I'd rehearsed it for about 6 or 7 months, and it was the second cover, and I thought, oh God, I'm never going to get on, because I was due to leave Phantom in about 3 months' time, and I thought, I'm never going to get on. I've rehearsed this for 6 months. I've never gone on. And then one day, the Phantom went off. And in those days, it was the first cover. He was off. And he said, you're on. Within about, 5 minutes into the half-hour call, which is, you've got to be, the show starts, and then it's half an hour, 35 minutes before it's called the half-hour call. And I went on, and Jeff, the director, was in there, and he, at the end of the show, I could hardly speak. I was like voiceless. I just gave everything that I possibly could, and I didn't realize Jeff was in. And he came up to my dressing room, and he said, he had tears in his eyes, and he just said, I want you to be the Phantom to go on tour. We're starting a tour next year. And I said, oh, okay. But I have to get Cameron Mackintosh to see you. I said, it's okay. So they arranged the show for me to do, and Cameron came in to see it, and he came up and said, you're the Phantom for the tour. So I was gobsmacked, to be honest, which was amazing. And I remember rushing up to, my wife was in Cats at the time in London, and I said, I've just been told do you want me to do the Phantom? Oh, all right. And we're all kind of all excited about it. And little did I realize I'd play the part for 4.5 years or something like that. So it's kind of a long time. And then after 4.5 years, I never wanted to touch the mask again in my life. I did it over 2,000 times. So I needed the rest badly, and then I left for 9 years.
And how did you prepare for the role?
In rehearsals?
Everything.
Or before the show. Before the show, I think I've done it so many times now that I was always taught when I was at college. There was a great drama teacher called Maggie Gordon, God rest her soul, and she just said, darling, as soon as you cross that line, you are the part. And I thought, yeah, that sounds good to me. So I can have a laugh with people going down the stairs and chat to people. But as soon as that line is crossed on the line, boom, you're the part. You have to be the part. You can't really muck around. There's no time to do anything in there. So you just have to be on the ball all the time. Because things can change all the time. So you've got to be on it.
Mm-hmm. How was the audition process like?
Well, it wasn't really like a normal process, because I basically had to do a show. Mind you, that was pretty nerve-wracking. Oh my God, that was you know, you got Cameron McIntosh in there, and you got all the big wigs, and that and those days, which is well, oh God, it was 19. We're talking 1997. Oh, um, uh, so in those days, you did, in that instance, I didn't have to go in and sing in a room. I hate that. I hate doing that sort of audition. I think it's the most awful way of showing yourself. But anyway, it's the only way you can do it a lot of the time. So, but this time I had the costume, I had the lighting, I had the orchestra to help me, and I had the wonderful audience. So when the audience were fantastic, and thank God, and they were they just came up and said, "That's you." So you got the part. So there's not really it wasn't really an audition. How would I say? It wasn't really going through an audition, like 4 or 5 auditions. It was just come in and see me doing the show, and that was it. And that was it. So in a way, that way works better for me.
Mm-hmm. Is there any piece of advice you wish you received before joining the arts industry?
There's one piece of advice, and somebody said,
"Yeah, is there any piece of advice you wish you received before joining the arts industry?"
Yeah, and that's it. And I was just about to say,
sorry.
No. It was how can I say? It was have something else to fall back on. Do something else, and I just wanted to do music. I mean, I just wanted to do music. I don't want to do opera. I wanted to do everything. I didn't want to do musical theatre, funnily enough, but I wanted to do opera. And it's have something, and it's true, have something else to fall back on, because look at us now. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what I'd like to have done to be oh God, what would I have done? I mean, I love sport. I love lots of different things, but I wish I had something else to go back on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would. My parents are always like telling me, basically that, like, to do both careers, like first like the acting career or musical theater. I'm still like trying to figure out which one to do. But
that'll come to you, though.
like, sorry.
That will come to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't have to, you know, to look for it. It would just suddenly go. That's what I've got to do.
Yeah, it's just, for example, I really love musical theater and acting and singing and everything, but here it's actually very hard to work of that, like just that, because we basically, well, we are going to like have our first university for musical theater like this year. Like they're going to open this year. We've never had a university for that. And academies are just starting to like add musical theater as a thing to learn.
And absolutely right.
They started like last year. Like it wasn't, you know, like years ago. And acting, it's also very hard because we don't have like many theaters here, and the very few that we've got are like extremely little, and they are not like such, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it, like elegant theater. I mean, it's just like community theater, basically, like that.
Well, at least you've got it. At least it's happening, you know. And these and from small acorns, oak trees grow, you know. And this is it. I mean, I had to leave Glasgow because, which is in Scotland, and I had to leave it because, I mean, there was work there, but there wasn't a great deal of work. So, you know, you have to suddenly come to this decision. And I was offered a job with a company called Scottish Opera. In fact, most of the opera school, we were all offered jobs. And I remember my friend Sally, and she said to me, "Stay, Scott. It's just going to be like opera school. It's just going to be great fun." And I'm sure it would have been, but I felt as if I had to get down to London as soon as I could. That was my big draw. I knew I had to get down there. It was always in my head. As soon as I went into music college, I have to get to London. I have to get to London because there wasn't a great deal of work up in Scotland. There wasn't, and there is work, but there's not as much as down. Well, there's nothing down here just now. So it was just you have to go where the work is. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I would really like to move. Well, in Argentina, like theater is a huge thing, so, and it's like literally next to my country, so I was thinking of maybe like moving there for a while and then getting to like go to the UK or Australia, because I would like to do like in English. I know it's not my main language, but I really like it in English. Like I prefer English more than Spanish. So, and I feel like more kind of connected with English. So yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah.
I mean, I like singing Italian much more than I do in English. So I find English a bit clicked and back of the throat, whereas Italian's very open. You know, everything's open. So that's probably why I like it. But I mean, it's what you find easiest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just also like there's a lot of money there, so it goes a lot.
That's where you got to go. Go where the money is. Go where your heart is. Go where you want to go, and because you never know where your life's going to take you. You never know. I mean, luckily with my singing, it's taking me all over the world. I've been luckily, you know, to be able to sing has been fantastic. Because I probably wouldn't get that chance if I stayed up in Scotland. I'd have to go on holidays, and that's. But this is actually going to work, and working in different parts of the world has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm working like really, really hard to do that, and like I'm planning also like to do another career so that I can like get that job while doing like this other thing, and yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean this is it. I mean, but as long if I could give a bit of advice to anybody that's going to definitely get something else, if you have a hobby that can make money, do it. Just do it. Just keep it going. You've got to have your heart set on what you want to do and how you want to get to that. But you've got to also have something else just in case at the background, just waiting for the moments like this and other moments when work isn't coming in, it's not going your way, which it invariably does, you know, and you just got to go for it and learn something else.
Yeah. Wait. Oh, if you weren't in the arts industry, what else would you have liked to do?
I'd like to have played rugby. I loved it, but there was no money in those days for it, so it was kind of stuffed, really. But I played the violin. My father was a violinist. He was a violinist in the Royal Scottish National Orchestra, which is the RSNO, quite a famous orchestra. And he taught me the violin, and I got into music college as a violinist. And I then realized this is too much hard work. You know, when you're playing that, I don't know, you get it's such a lot of practice on your own in your own little study room in college, and you're there for maybe 2 or 3 hours in the morning and 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon just going to practice. But I thought that's too much for me. That's too much like dedication. But you know, singing, you've got to be dedicated. But I find it easier. You know, I mean, just the violin, it's hard. It's hard to practice on your own. Whereas, and he taught me the violin, and I decided quite early on in the academy to move away from it and study on singing, which was, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I think that the rest of the questions are actually what I asked you about. They're about mental health.
Oh yeah.
And that, like, I asked you if you're okay with talking about that. Just wanted to make sure. Okay. So my first question is, do you feel like you've personally struggled with your mental health as an artist, and how did that affect you?
No, I love what I do. I find if you're in a stressful situation, like if you're losing your, a while ago I had, years ago, I had I had laryngitis, and it just basically halfway through a show, I lost my voice, and they didn't put the cover on. They kept me on, and I said, I'm not going to have my voice at the end of it. I'm telling you now, it's not going to happen. And yep, then it happened, and I basically croaked my way through it, and I was. And the anguish and the fear of having to deal, you get through it, and you kind of get an applause of, Christ, what's wrong with him? You know, you know. I mean, it was so obvious there was something wrong with me, and I had 2 weeks off, but the only kind of problem I had was the mental strength to try and get back after 2 weeks. Because if you've had 2 weeks off and you've blown your voice completely, and you still think it's not ready to come back, you're not ready, and that's probably. But you've got to fight that, and you've got to fight these demons in your head to overcome it. And that's probably about the only thing with. I've been very lucky, very lucky. I seem to be a happy-go-lucky kind of guy, and if I can manage to keep doing that, I'll be be delighted. But you know, you see so many people getting so uptight and so worked up, and the problems coming to the surface when you're in rehearsals and things like this. And I always think when you come into the theatre, it's a place of work, and that's it. And you try and keep your troubles behind you. But that's probably the wrong way of thinking. I don't know. I mean, that's an old-fashioned way of thinking. But I very much work my way through problems all the time.
Yeah. Well, that's really interesting, actually. When discussing about mental health, was there ever a moment in your life that you thought you wouldn't be able to do what you love because of negative thoughts?
Because of what? Sorry?
Negative thoughts. Negative thoughts.
Negative
thoughts.
Oh, thoughts. Yeah. As I said, it's if you get negative thoughts about your confidence, and you have a bad time, which happens to a lot of people, and I've seen it happen to well-seasoned professionals, and you feel as if you can see them crumble. And me as a person, if I'm very friendly with them, I'll try and help them. But the only time I've really ever had is when your voice goes and you think you've lost it. Do you know what? It's a funny thing, actually. Years ago, I had 6 years ago, I had an illness called whooping cough. It's a very old illness, and it's kind of been wiped out. But I got it, and I was off work for 14 weeks. It's a long time, and I coughed and coughed, and I broke my ribs, and I blacked out because of the coughing, the violent coughing, and I thought I'd never sing again, because when you cough constantly, you bash your cords. Your cords are only that big, about 1.5 inches, and if you keep bashing them together, after an amount of time, they swell up, and then you get bleeds on them and do everything, and then that's you say goodbye to your singing career, which can quite easily happen. And I went to see a specialist. He said, your cords are inflamed and they're quite red. I'd really try and stop this coughing. I said, well, I can't stop it. And I was told I had to be back by the 23rd of February to do a show, and it was very important I get back to do this show. So I came back. I struggled my way back, and I remember at the very end of it, because I never thought I'd sing again. I thought that was it. That was the end of my career. And I remember coming up the stairs at the end of the show, and the company manager, Satya, was there, lovely woman. And I just fell into her arms, and I had tears running out my eyes. I thought, I'm just so grateful that I've been given the chance to get up on stage again to do it. And because I really thought my career was over, because as soon as you get something like an illness, you start looking up on the internet. You start going, okay, whooping cough. All right, singing with whooping cough, and you're going, you suddenly read this, going, oh my God, the chances of performing, of singing ever again are over. And that's what I thought. I thought that was over, and I thought, what am I going to do now? What the hell do I do? I've got 3 boys. I've got my wife and my dog. What do I do? so yeah, mental problems, obstacles you've got to get through, and you just rely on your technique, and you rely on what you know about the business, and you rely on everything you've learned in the business, and all the little easy ways to get around things, and you put these into working order, and then slowly but surely everything comes back, and then your brain gets normal again. I can manage this again. I thought that was it. I really thought it was over. But that's something that you learn.
How do you think that we can remove the stigma around mental health?
Oh my God. By talking about it, I think. it's a very hard thing to talk about, but you just have to. I mean, in our family, our whole family, we've got somebody with bipolar, and it's to be understanding, it's to make sure that they're all right, make sure that they're getting the right treatment. But you really have to, it's to be talked about, it's to be made aware of. That's the most important thing, to be aware of and not to treat it. What's wrong with him? Oh my God! It's got to be spoken about at all times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I think that more people are starting to talk more about it, and that's also why I also kind of wanted to add it to the questions and all of that, because I thought it was a really interesting topic and something that should be actually talked about more.
Yeah,
because it's something, I mean, actually normal that someone has mental health issues. I mean, it's basically, I think everyone at a point in their lives has had.
Yeah, of course, they have something. Yes, absolutely. And as long as they can talk about it and you can talk about it, you're getting to be where you should be. But if it's all kept under the can't talk about it, that's when it gets worse and worse, and the problems start really big time. Talk. Love. Look after.
Definitely. So I have some more questions on here.
Yeah.
I have lots of them, so I'm gonna try to.
All right. Okay.
Oh wow, there are a lot. How do you think the Phantom would be coping during the pandemic?
Ooh. How do you? Oh my God! I think he'd hate it, because they wouldn't be in the theatre, would they? He wouldn't be able to hear. He wouldn't be able to hear the Christines and of this world, and he wouldn't be able to. He wouldn't be able to. There'd be nobody. He'd be on his own. He would be really on his own. At least when he's in the theatre, he can watch and hear and have a buzz in the theatre that is always present in live theatre. It's funny because I don't want to. When we went we were all told we had to take our stuff out of the theatre in June, July, and the theatre was so quiet. I couldn't believe it. I've never been in a theatre that there was no life to it, and it just so happens that the Christine at the time, Kelly Matheson, who's a really good dear friend of mine, she was in, so made it a laugh. But when I went in there, first of all, I just thought, oh my God, there is no one here apart from me, because you had to go in singularly into the theatre and collect your stuff. You had a time slot, and I've never ever been in a theatre where it's so empty, so lacking of life. So I could imagine the Phantom would be the most awful thing for him, because he would be stuffed. No Christine, nobody to annoy, nobody to antagonize. So not even the managers, so they'd be all gone. So there'd be nobody there. So it would be pretty awful for him, I would think.
Yeah, I feel like it must have been kind of weird, seeing everything so empty and silent.
Yeah, horrible. And when the stage ripped out as well, that was the worst thing. And half the stall seats were ripped out. So it's like, oh my God, this is all happening now. And it's the loneliness. It's funny. It's like a little microcosm of life, where it's like a little energy ball where it just goes every night, and then when everybody goes, it's the most lonely place.
Yeah.
You want that atmosphere to be there, but it's not. So that's it.
Oh wait. Does the Phantom appear in your dreams?
Never.
Or rather inside your mind?
Never. As soon as I leave that stage door, the Phantom never appears. Never. I think I would. I think I'd be worried about myself if I thought about it that much.
If you could have any actress play Christine, who would it be?
Oh my God. Oh my God. There's so well. Film actress, or are we talking about actress as in who I've worked with?
Then an actress that you will work with.
God. I'd say my favorite one was it sounds terrible. They're all gorgeous. They're all lovely. I was very lucky to be doing my job. They're all, but as a friend and somebody that I got on really well with on stage, Kelly Matheson.
Mm-hmm.
Superb.
She's amazing.
Super, fantastic voice.
Mm-hmm.
Great actress. Looks great.
Mm-hmm.
And above all, beautiful person and great fun. Great fun. Oh, I see my boys just turned up. Jack Davis, 77. Hi, Jack. He's a student studying in Southampton at the moment. Oh, right, okay.
Sorry. Have you had any trouble with the boat?
Yeah, loads. There's a sign when you've got the pole in the hand and you're coming down the center of the stage,
yeah.
And if you put the pole down and you feel the boat's a bit dodgy, you put the pole down, and that is the sign, I'm getting off the boat. So they don't try and start it, they don't try and do anything with it. And I can't remember who was on the boat that day. It was a long time ago, and I remember having the pole, and it was juddering away. It was the most unelegant entrance onto the stage, and I'm going, oh God Almighty! Here we go. And it stopped, and the experience suddenly said, no, give them a couple of seconds, and I'm right at the back of the stage, and I thought, right, time's gone now, because you've got to meet certain cues at certain times of the music. So I basically thought, that's it, we're not going to meet our cues if I don't get off. So I put the pole down, and I get off, and I swirl my cape around, and I went to get Christine out of the boat by giving her my hands, and the boat starts off, and I'm left running behind the boat. And I'm basically looking into the wings going, what the hell are you doing? And I went, no, I'm the Phantom, It is the most fantastic. If any actor can have an entrance like that, that's the one that they would probably have, because it's the most majestic thing. Do you think so? The candles come up, the boat comes down. Each scene is just transformed into a completely different world, and that's the beauty of that show, and the beauty of that scene is that the boat. Everybody still wonders how it happens, and if they think. They always ask me if I ever take them backstage, and they go, well, how does the boat work? And you tell them how it works. They go, no, really? Do you?
Would you do Love Never Dies?
Do you know, I never saw the show, so I don't know. I never saw the show because in my eyes, I know it's going to hurt a lot of people. In my eyes, the Phantom dies at the end of Phantom of the Opera. He goes away, and that's it. That's his love. That's his love of his life gone. And there's no point living anymore. And that's why it's heartbreaking for me. Say goodbye. And I think to go into another show was a bad mistake, but lots of people will love Never Dies, but I never saw it, and I didn't want to see it purely because of that. Probably wrong of me, but if it's anything to do with the Phantom, I'd have a bash at it. Yes, I would never say no to work, let's put it that way, unless it's particularly bad. But I never saw the show. I sing Till I Hear You Sing in concerts, but it's a beautiful song, but I've never actually seen the show. Which I'm kind of sad in a way now, but in my eyes, the Phantom died, and I'm quite strong about that.
Yeah, I think actually in the book, like at the end, it says that he actually dies.
Oh,
that's what I didn't read the whole book yet,
yeah.
But that's what I read there on social media and all of that. It says that I think he dies because he's actually very old, so I think it's because of that. Yeah,
I just think he had his time. That was it. It was his one love of his life, and she left, and she chose who she wanted to be with, and quite right, she had to, of course she had to choose him. But it was very, very sad, and I couldn't ever think of him coming back and suddenly being like a kind of like a circus kind of. What was he? What was he? I can't remember. I don't even know what he did. What did he do? I just find it too unbelievable that he would actually want to follow her over to America and work in a circus or a fairground or whatever it was.
Yeah, I like.
Coney
I
Island.
didn't understand that very well, actually. I just know that he basically like moved to I think it was New York or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And he kind of had like his own company or something like that. Like he would write like his songs and they would use them like in shows and all of that, but it wasn't like opera actually.
No.
It was more like circus or
but it was a fun fair kind of place, wasn't it? Yeah, Coney Island, that's what it was. Famous place. Yeah, I couldn't. To me, that is not what the Phantom is. He's not that type of person.
Yeah, when I actually saw it, I was very confused actually, because like the whole I mean, I saw both the Australian and the London production. I saw them on my computer. And I actually prefer the Australian, but in the Australian he starts like with Till I Hear You Sing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool. There's Christine, there he is singing with his music, with the piano, great. And then like it starts like more kind of circus music.
Yeah.
Like what is this? I was like very confused. And I was like, even like, am I watching the right thing or not? And then I was it's kind of, I mean, the music, it's really good. There are some songs that are really amazing that I love.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the
music, like, some of the music's beautiful.
Yeah, but
stunning.
the story is kind of like it doesn't fit with the first part.
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Till I Hear You Sing is a fantastic song. I mean, if I do it with some orchestras around the place, and it always gets a huge applause because it's a fantastic. Just builds and builds and blah, with the top B flat at the end. You go, wow, that's what you want. Do you know what I mean? It's a fantastic song. I mean, it's beautifully written, and it's a joy to sing. But then again, you have the problem of words because it's like Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's all similar, but different, completely different word-wise, lyric-wise. But it's a brilliant song. Once you get it under your hat, it's fine. It's great.
Yeah, I really love that song. I'm not good at singing it, but I really love it.
But it's great. I mean, if you can actually just get up and just whack these numbers out, I mean, it's an absolute joy, because that's what you do it for. You do it to bring pleasure to people's listening to songs and songs that they love, and I must admit, it's a song that not many people have heard of, because it didn't last that long at the West End. It didn't become as famous as what Music of the Night is. So, but people would come up and say, "Oh, I adored that song." I said, "Well, it's a beautiful song, great song, great song. I love how it builds."
Yeah, and it goes like, it's got like a whole, it's got like what like they call like beginning, middle, and end. Like it's a whole like it starts like very kind of like slowly, and then it's like Oh yeah, gets it all out basically.
It was brilliant. It's a fantastic song, and very atmospheric. And it's got to be atmospheric at the beginning. It's got to be almost whispered, and then the next bit a little bit louder, or play around with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And a big finish, and a big finish too. A great finish, not like Music of the Night.
What? Oh wait, there. Favorite stage door moments.
Oh, now that's an interesting one. Favorite story. Do you know what? When you do the show, you get lots of people wanting to come and see you, but you can't allow everybody into the theatre. And I was what was it? With I had two friends that were coming to meet me, and I was taking my makeup off at the end of the show, and somebody the tannoy system came out and said, Scott, visitor for Scott at the stage door. I thought, okay, yeah, I knew they were coming back. I said to Linda, who looked after me, and in the theatre, and said, can you bring them up? I said, yeah. And by the time they brought them up and signed them in and gave them little tags, I was at the makeup, and I had my kind of house coat thingy on, and I said to I opened the door for them, and Linda came in. She went, "How many people?" And I went, "2." And she went, No. I said, "Well, what?" She says, "There's 10." I went, 10? I go, who the hell? And these are just people that just, Linda went in and says, I'm collecting some people for Scott Davies at the end of the show. And my friends came in, and so did the other 8, who I had no idea who the hell they were. So we just sat in the dressing room. I had no idea who they were. And I chatted to them for about 20 minutes. And then luckily the tannoy system came up. Says, well, all visitors leave the stage door area, the dressing rooms. I thought, thank God for that. But you don't know who they are. Sitting there as if you've known them for years. And my friends who came along, they said, "Do you know them?" And I went, "No." No clue who they were. You've got to be inclusive. You've got to speak to people as if you've known them for ages.
If you could invite the Phantom to a dinner party, what would you serve?
Oh, God. The finest food, because that's the only food that he would like. He would love, I'm sure he was a wonderful chef. I'm sure you'd have to have, because everything that he did was fantastic. It was with style, and it would have to be the best. Oh, now what would that be? Oh, I don't know. Oh my God. Oh, Chateaubriand. I don't know. There's so many different things, but it would have to be done to the highest standard. You couldn't just say give any old muck to him, because he might hang you from the ceiling.
What's your favorite opera aria?
Do you know, that's a difficult one. From Tosca, the Stelle. Oh God, what's it called? 𝗬𝘂𝗶𝗁 le stelle. Oh my God! It's at the very end of the show when he knows he's going to die, and he's going to be shot, and he basically knows it's going to happen to him. And if he can listen to it at the end of Tosca, 𝗬𝘂𝗶𝗁 le stelle. I don't know what 𝗬𝘂𝗶𝗁, the stars, and he's just looking up the stars, singing about how he knows he's going to be knocked off. So it's the most beautiful. Pavarotti, listen to Pavarotti doing it. Nobody ever sings it as well as him. It's a very. Have you ever seen Tosca?
Not really, but I've heard the arias.
Oh yeah, go. You should watch it. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
It's definitely like on my list.
Yeah, I mean, Puccini, he was rated like the Andrew Lloyd Webber, but he was really shunned in his day because he said he just wrote music for the masses. But you listen to his music and you go, oh, it's beautiful, beautiful.
Oh wait, I had another question here. Working with so many leads, have you been inspired by any of their character choices for Phantom?
Yeah, very, very much so. There was one Phantom that was absolutely brilliant. Peter Carey. Oh my God. He's a long, long time ago, and he was stunning. And he brought Phantom into a new kind of era of pity for the Phantom. He was just, it still sends shivers up my spine now thinking about him, because he was absolutely brilliant and in every way, and he just had this perfect way about him. But he gave up years ago, and then he went over to Canada to do it, and he did it for about a year there, and very good money. And then I think he just went, that's it, over and done with. But he was absolutely phenomenal. He's been very good with Phantom since then, but he was the one that went. Oh. He's the one that he's like the Pavarotti of it, you know.
How does your performance change based on the different Christines?
Well, you have a template of how you do it, and you basically, what I like to do is go by how they react to me. I mean, some Christines are just some Christines are just a joy to work with, an absolute joy. And if they're feisty, all the better. You know, Gina Beck was a Christine who was incredibly feisty, who would really go for it, you know, really go right back at you in the final layer. And you'd feel, you know, you come off at the end of the show and you go, oh my God, as if you've been put through your paces. But she was fantastic as well. Fantastic.
How is it like to do 8 shows a week?
Hard. I think it's hard because you're not on stage that amount of time, but you're never resting. You're either hiding, having a costume change, having a makeup done. You never actually just sit on your backside and do nothing. My wife came to see the show years ago, but she didn't come to see the show. She came in and something was cancelled. So I said, come into the dressing room and just wait for me, and we'll go out in between shows. So she came in, and she used to play Meg years and years and years ago. And she came in and she sat on the sofa in the restroom, and she just said, I can't believe how you don't have any time to yourself. You're either, as I said, doing the makeup, doing a costume change, doing this, and the only time you really get is the interval. And 8 shows a week really does get to you, you know, after a while. I think it's because it's the huge difference, in very quiet singing, floaty singing, and then you're going to be elegant with your Don Juan. You've got to sing in an operatic way. So there's so many different styles of singing. So that's why you've got to have great line to the voice, and you've got to have a controlled scream and a controlled shout, because that's where it can really, really hammer it out of you. If you don't have an idea of how to deal with the screaming and the shouting, you can knacker your voice, and I've seen that happen to a lot of phantoms.
Yeah, there's actually a question about that here. So, wait, I can't see the questions. Okay, wait. My phone is, well, it doesn't let me see. Oh, here it is.
How would you do 8 shows a week? Terrible. Great fun, but it's hard work, and you've got to find your own way of doing it. If you don't find your own way of doing it and you just shout your way through, you will be knackered by show 5 or show 6, and then you've still got 2 more shows to do or 3 more shows to go, and then when your voice is tired and you know you've got to sing those very, very quiet songs up, you know, bits of music up in the angel, you know, you've got to get that kind of floating falsetto sound. If you don't have that, oof, you make the audience feel awkward as well. You know, they think, oh, that's that. Oh, you know, you just can tell.
Wait, my phone went crazy, and it it chose the question that it wasn't. So, well, this was before the show. Yeah.
Sharon Barkley. Hello, Sharon. Sharon's my old mate from Scotland days. What do I eat? I eat normal foods. I will have a spaghetti bolognese. I'll have a pasta. I won't have anything heavy, and I will eat probably about 4 o'clock. And then by the time the show comes on, it will have moved away from my stomach. So because I would in between shows, I will have something very light. I will have a sandwich, or I might have a soup, or a Wagamama's. a very light Wagamama's.
I've got 2 more questions. This one, another one, and then
Okay.
I can leave you.
Oh, right.
I've heard actors say
that,
the title role was damaging to the voice. How have you been? How have you protected yours?
Yes, it can damage your voice. I won't mention any names, but I heard a voice doing Phantom years ago, and they had a lot of problems with it, and you could tell that was it. And then I think they were off for about 8-9 weeks, and they then basically lost a certain beauty to their voice, and I've never heard it come back. And I think if you don't watch after it, because I have my own singing technique, and I have my own exercises, and I do them religiously. I warm up before the show every time for about 15 minutes, and then I warm down in the shower at the end, which is very, just basically comes down to a hum. I think you have to have a technique. If you don't have a technique, you're stuffed. I think you will cause a lot of damage, and you really have to take great care over your voice, because once you lose it, that's it, gone. And it's not something that you want to encounter in your career. But it's very easily done at Phantom. The amount of people that have had struggling, and you can hear it beginning to happen, because they go, and you go, no, don't do that.
The last question is
okay.
Oh wait, I lost it. Here it is. What do you miss about Scotland?
The beautiful countryside, the beautiful, fresh, sweet air, the people, everything. I mean, my friends, my dear friends, Sharon Barkley, who just left a message there, a lovely dear friend, and I just miss so much about it, but the work's not there, and you can't. Maybe I'd like to buy a place up there so I can go up there. I tell you what I don't miss about it, it's the weather. And the haggis. I don't miss the haggis. I listen, everything about it. It's where my roots are, and it's London's great, and it's a great place to go into the theatre, and it's a great place to go to art galleries and restaurants and lots of different things. But there's something beautiful about Scottish people, and that's what I really miss very, very much. My pals. I wish I had my pals down here. But I've got lovely friends down here as well. But there's something fantastic about the Scottish sense of humour, and that's what I miss.
So basically, those are all my questions. I mean, there are so many more questions, but I just don't want to make you waste your time. So
no, not at all. No, it's been an absolute pleasure. A lovely treat. This has been great.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you for accepting doing this. And it was a pleasure talking to you.
Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure for me, and I've had a great time, and I can take my glass off, and I can get ready for my going home now. Oh yeah, I gotta have the mask. No, I don't wear the mask all the time. You should wear that mask when you go out instead of. Oh yeah.
Both masks.
You never know. I've loved it, and I've loved the questions. Thank you for everybody for handing their questions in. It's been lovely, fantastic. Hopefully, see you on the stage.
Hopefully. Thank you for literally answering all of them. There were a lot. And yeah, I really hope I get to see you live someday, whether it's in Phantom or any other show that you do.
Well, let me, if I ever go back into it, or who knows, but if I'm ever asked to go back in, it'd be a treat. Just pop in, and anybody that's been watching this, come in and say hello, and I'll show you backstage. And it won't be the same show, so well, it will be similar-ish, but it'd be great to see you. But thanks very much. It was been fantastic to speak to you guys.
Thank you so much. I hope that you have a great. I think it's already night there. I don't know.
Night. Yes, it's now 7:15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here
But thank you.
it's 4 p.m. So
Yeah. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the heat. Oh. But thank you, everybody, and it's been an absolute treat to be here with you guys. Thank you for asking me.
thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you.